Sachin. Really honored to have you here. And you are an inspiration not only to budding cricketers, but also people from every walk of life who believe in their dreams. So thank you for everything that you've done for our nation. And ladies and gentlemen, Sachin! Thank you. And I would now like to invite on stage a woman with sparkling personality, the General Manager, Marketing, Tanishq, Ms. Ranjani Krishnaswamy.
The Time magazine said that we've had champions, we've had legends, but we've not had another Sachin Tendulkar. And they said we never will. Thank you so much, Sachin, for being with us today on this momentous moment for us as we launch Celeste, our own journey of unmatched scintillation, brilliance and fire. And who else could be wanting to be spending the evening other than you, who has been the epitome of all of this in our life. So let me start off with a few questions that our audience would love to hear. There's a very wonderful quote and I was blown over when I heard that. You said, when people throw stones at you, turn them into milestones. I think that was so brilliantly put. So how did this dream that you keep saying, follow your dreams, if you believe in your dreams will happen, how did this journey start? What's your first memory of cricket and who discovered the spark in you?
First of all, good evening to everyone. When I walked here, the kind of reception that I got, I thought, where are the umpires? It felt like I was standing inside Wankhede Stadium. Thank you so very much for this warm reception. What a special evening this is. You spoke about who spotted the spark in me, without any doubt. It was my brother Ajit. I remember the first time I held a cricket bat, I was 3 years old or so. My grip never changed. It continued being that way right at the bottom of the handle. Though my coach tried some stage in between to change my grip, the moment he realized this is not working, we went back to continuing to hold the normal grip, which worked for me. But in my age group, in our building, we were playing tennis ball cricket. I was batting well, reasonably well at scoring runs. I'd like to believe that I was one of the main batters in our team. But my brother Ajit was watching me, every now and then he would kind of keep an eye on me because there were two age groups, my age group and then senior guys who would play alongside my brother in our building itself. The dream was to join my brother's team, that age group, go and bat there and hold my ground there, do not look out of place there. So that's how it all started. But without any doubt, if we are talking about somebody spotting that spark in me, it has to be my brother Ajit.
True, our family knows us. What's the center of your motivation that keeps you out there, up there all the time?
It was my dream. I mean, in 1983, I was only 10 years old. I did not know much about cricket. I enjoyed playing the game, but as far as the intricacies of the game was concerned, I had no idea. Everyone started jumping because we won the World Cup. I also joined the party, not understanding the significance and the enormity of lifting the trophy. I looked at Kapil Dev holding the World Cup and I said, even one day I would like to do the same thing. This is something I should start chasing, and that's how my journey began. Along the way, there were a number of good moments, there were not so good moments, disappointments, unbelievable moments which only a sport can give you on the field. And I felt that passion in me was very much alive. I had never ever looked at the watch. When I was practicing, it was all about how satisfied I was. And if I wasn't satisfied, practice sessions went on and on, to the extent where Achrekar sir literally had to drag me out of the net, say that we can barely see each other, but why are you still continuing to bat? You need to stop, come back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. so on and so forth. The practice sessions went on and on. I chased my dream, and I strongly believe if you are passionate about something, there are a couple of kids that I can see here, chase your dream. You know, there'll be difficult times, never lose hope. Passion is something which continues to breathe with us till the end. It never leaves us. And that is the case with me. And it took us a while to win the World Cup, but the best part was we never lost hope. And the best day was today, a few years ago in 2011 of my life.
Let's give it up for today. It will be 2 years ago. 2011, that's it. So on a lighter note, just to make the evening a little light and humorous, people say that when Sachin goes out to bat, people switch on the televisions and now iPads or whatever device and switch off from life. What has been your most humorous moment on the field that you still recall standing here many years after?
There were many such moments, but one moment I remember we were in Kochi, and this is something the whole team had planned. So as soon as our practice session was over, we went back to the dressing room, and we asked the support staff, including our head coach, that time John Wright was our head coach. We told John, we need space in this dressing room. We only want the players to be in this dressing room. There is some serious matter that we want to discuss. So John was wondering, now what is this serious matter that the team wants to discuss, and I am not part of it. The physios, the masseurs, trainers, everyone was taken out of the room. And then we asked Saurav Ganguly, who was our captain at that time, कि दादा तुमने क्या statement दिया है team के against? You know, because there are a couple of guys with newspapers, and the front page headline was, you know, Dada has spoken rubbish the team basically. So we were monitoring Dada's face while all this was going on. There are a couple of pranksters in the team, so it was well planned, well orchestrated, and all this drama continued. And there were a couple of guys just couldn't control their laughter. And later on, दादा was like, मैं कसम खाता हूँ भगवान की मैंने कभी कुछ ऐसे बोला नहीं है टीम के अगेंस्ट and this and that, and I'm telling you अगर ऐसे हुआ तो you come and catch me. And we are like, we are part of one team, we are one family. How could you go and publicly criticize us? आज डेट है 2nd of April, ये हुआ था 1st of April. So we had planned, you know, we'll get couple of printouts and then we'll corner Dada. And Dada actually succumbed to that. Dada didn't realize that it was 1st of April on that day. But the whole team had planned. And Dada was like, मैं वापस कभी ड्रेसिंग रूम में बैठूंगा नहीं अगर मैंने कुछ बोला है ऐसे तो. In reality, he had not said anything at all. This was planned by the rest of the teammates.
Wow, you guys would have kept a poker face all through the game that was being played out. Did he come back to you after that saying something? Yeah, why did you guys do this to me? So Sachin, you've always said, I don't want the world to remember me as the best cricketer. I want the world to remember me as best human being. People have called you God, Master Blaster. You've been at the pinnacle of glory. But one thing people have also always said, that you are humble, you're grounded. How do you keep your humility and your sense of grounding together when there's so much that's exalting you to such heights and, if I could say, feeding your ego? How does one stay grounded? What's been your trick on that?
Whatever I performed, there were good days and bad days. The mantra at home was, from my childhood, the mantra at home was, let the whole world talk about the last match, we think about the next match. There were no big celebrations as such, there were no big parties. If I did well, then a box of sweets was offered to God, and we just thank God for this day, this moment, and that's about it. I mean, I touched my parents' feet and moved on. There was no time to think about how well did I bat or this, that, nothing. My brother would immediately engage me in the next game, and my focus was not to just do well at school level. My focus was to play for India. So I would constantly ask him, what next? Forget about what has happened, what is next now, which tournament? If I do well there, then where do I go? Because I wanted to play for India, I did not have patience. So in that process, I was so engrossed. And I think the person that I am today is a reflection of my upbringing, my family. The credit goes to them because my father was there, my mother was there, and I could see the difficult times, the challenges that they were facing. Though at times I was too small to understand those, but as I grew up, become a parent, and that time you understand even more the sacrifices that they have made. And just because I have done well in my profession doesn't give me the right to behave the way I want. I still have to go back home and show my face to my mother, my family, my wife is there, everyone is there. And if I'm loud and arrogant, that will be totally unacceptable at home. So if I'm not so loud, humble, polite, doesn't make me weak or any lesser than anyone. If you get loud and your body language doesn't make you bigger than anyone else. So sometimes they say less is more. So that is really, really important. I learned a couple of things. When you don't have anything in life, it is important to know how to manage. And when you have everything in life, it is important to know how to behave. As long as you maintain this balance, life goes on.
That's so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. In this world which is so pretentious, I think such grounded advice is very important to young minds as well as all of us sitting in this room. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for that. Truly brilliant is usually brilliant by design, and when we hear your stories, we understand that brilliance is crafted, it's meticulously curated, and it's with wanting to do the next, like we just spoke, wanting to get better every time. What's been your journey of true brilliance? Because it is such a coincidence that Celeste is also crafted as brilliant by design. It's come after a lot of years of work and collaboration. What's been your ethos, your personal sort of journey towards brilliance, and how have you crafted it as you went along?
I think, numbers, like I said earlier, it is all about hard work. There are no shortcuts. You have to spend X number of hours to be the top of the top of the, I would say, table where one desires to be, one wishes to be. And I've realized in life that if I take shortcuts, I'm fooling myself. Whole world can see the numbers, but eventually when I go back and I sit in the room and I look at myself in the mirror, that satisfaction element cannot be judged by any outside. That is only judged by oneself, and that is one number no one can see. So if I don't tick that box of having given 100% every time I entered the field, because for us it was representing the nation, a huge honor. How many guys get to do that? And that's all I wanted in life. I didn't want to be anything else in life. So if I don't do justice there, if I don't take that extra step, when number of guys, I played alongside quite a few guys who felt that it's the end of the journey and I cannot go any further. That is where the passion, the desire to take that extra step further and do something more where success is actually waiting to embrace. That is important. We don't take that extra step, we take a U-turn there, thinking that it's the end of the road. It's not the end of the road, it's only a bend, but you continue your journey. And that is what I did in life. I never lost hope. I keep talking about hope because that is one thing which allows you to take that extra step. And that's all I did. I mean, I tried to keep things simple. The more you complicate, the more complicated it gets. So the idea is to keep learning new methods, but at the same time not to forget your roots, where you came from and what you've learned. Because I still remember, now there are newer methods of coaching, but whatever Achrekar sir taught me at Shivaji Park, basics did not change. Basics continue to be the same. Just that naming certain levels are different today. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 coaching. It's different, but I don't think the basics change. So just to keep things simple.
I think it's beautifully said. Every obstacle is not the end, it's the bend, and you have to climb the mountain. As it bends, it curves you and takes you up. I think that's really the core of what Celeste is. It's so flawless, both internally, and has no blemishes on its surface that makes it really, really interesting. This is a very special moment for us, Sachin. It's a decade of your 100th centuries. It's a milestone birthday coming up. So we had to create something that was completely flawless for you, the D flawless. So how has been your experience in this journey with Tanishq as we curated these 100 stones, each of them so unique that only 1 in 10,000 can be found in the world? What's your impression about when you see us take this journey? What are the parallels you draw to yourself?
First of all, I have to say that this is a great team to work with.
We didn't plug that.
A big thank you to Tanishq for paying this tribute to me. I remember while growing up, I was always fascinated by jewelry, and as the time went by, started understanding more for obvious reasons. I have a 25-year-old daughter, so that means I've been married for longer than that, with wife and daughter combination. Whether you want or you don't want, you get to know about jewelry, which is also a good thing, because this collection.
For men also, by the way.
Yes, so this, I was just coming to that. So this collection, with my whatever knowledge that I've gathered from them, I was able to share that with Team Tanishq. And Celeste is a collection which has really won my heart. It is obviously around my cricketing moments, my journey, and when the two combine, because I've always believed, I've always said that individuals can win you a match, but never a tournament. So if we are to win a tournament, both teams, my team and Team Tanishq, we both have to come together and win the tournament, and that is what we are here for. The collection is simply remarkable. And a brand like Tanishq, it stands for honesty, that transparency is there, that trust is there. You don't, when you talk about Tanishq, you don't go and explain to someone that, this is really nice and it's a genuine product. This Tanishq stands for the trust that people have in the brand. So to be associated with a brand like this is a wonderful feeling. Like I said, it's the collection, the solitaire collection is really special. Whatever I've seen, I'm sure we're very soon going to see that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very tempted to ask this question. What's been your favorite piece in this? I know you spoke to us earlier about it, and a beautiful interpretation you gave of it. Can we have that piece, and can we have you talk about it?
Carrying that piece in my pocket.
Oh, lovely.
It's I'm carrying that piece in my pocket. Should I be showing it now or in time to come? But that's a brilliant piece, because the moment I saw that, the first thought came to my mind, because there are ideas that we have. It's like painters. The painting is ready in their head, and so is the case with designers. The design is ready in their head, but for the rest of the world to see, I'm going to show it soon. It really, brings a smile on your face. And the first time I saw this in real life, the thought which came to my head was multiple hands holding the trophy, the World Cup trophy that we won in 2011, which will be seen shortly.
Team, could we have it up on stage as we continue this conversation? So Sachin, it's been a real pleasure having you here. I think when Don Bradman said, I haven't seen myself play, but when I see Sachin Tendulkar play, it reminds me of myself. That's the god of cricket you are, and it's truly a privilege and a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to take my leave from you, but there's lots more exciting things in store for the team and us and you. Thank you so much for being such a great person to speak with the audience and with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, it's really a goosebumpy fanboy moment to share the stage with you. Like I think it would be for anybody of my generation to share the stage with a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't forget that the man we have in our midst is a legend and also a Bharat Ratna. And we are really an esteemed company today. So Sachin, I'd like to start with a confession. Okay, do allow me to start with a confession. For many of us who were in college in the 90s before mobile phones, and particularly when India was touring, let's say, New Zealand or Australia, when you had to wake up in the wee hours of the morning to watch the match, and after you started opening the innings in ODIs, which I think was after perhaps 94. So you can picture this, a college, a hostel of 200 cricket-loving boys and one TV room. Just one TV room in the entire hostel. And at 4:30 in the morning, that room would be packed. By chance, if you got up, you wouldn't find space to sit in there. And statistically, at 4:35, 50% of the times the room would be empty. Only because India chose, or India was asked to bowl first. We would all go back to sleep. You know, these days when we do our fire drills, we really can't evacuate 200 people in 5 minutes, but in those days, we would just step out in 5 minutes and go to sleep saying, "Chalo, 3 ghante baad, let's come back." And I must also confess, in the other 50% occasions, we would all watch the match till the time you were batting. And within 5 minutes of you getting out, the room would be empty. So that's what Sachin meant to our generation. And in those 2 decades, we passed out of college, we got our own TV set, we got jobs, we got married and grew old, but this thing didn't change. This thing didn't change, and that's what you mean to people of my generation, Sachin. And now coming to the real question that I had. Ranjani spoke of designed for brilliance and a cut above. So a question to you which connects the two. There was something you did to disrupt the brilliant designs of opposition fast bowlers by using the cut above, or the Sachin patented uppercut to deal with, I think, short balls to the body, and that was your innovation, which perhaps
Kind of started in 2002. We were playing our first test match in Bloemfontein against South Africa. It lost 4 wickets, and then Sehwag and I had this partnership, and we were going quite well. And that's when they brought on Makhaya and Tini to bowl short of leg just onto our body, but because he bowled in swinger, so he had to start a little bit wider. So once you've picked the line, the eye line, usually a batter, I'm not going to get too technical here, but usually a batter picks the line. The moment the ball is outside the line, then you decide to cut, pick the length and you cut. So that was actually Makhaya and Tini's stock ball. We said, इसको stock ball अगर डालने देंगे तो अपना momentum चला जाएगा. So that's when we started playing uppercut over slip cordon, because test matches there is no third man. So we thought if we could score runs off his stock ball, then that could put them on back. Okay, that happened for the first time. It wasn't planned at all early on. There are times when you have to go there And there and then in the middle, you have to be spontaneous to understand what is happening around you. As long as you have peripheral awareness, you are able to take those decisions. And we did that.
And who can forget those fantastic uppercuts to Brett Lee and perhaps even Shoaib Akhtar in the World Cup in South Africa?
Yes, I remember that shot.
So Sachin, any chance you can do it for us on stage today?
Oh yeah?
Woo! Can we have a few bats here?
So what do you say, folks? Shall we?
Would we? Yeah?
Well, I don't think he's going to do it if we don't encourage him. I don't think that was encouragement enough. Can we have it even louder?
This one is for you.
For me?
Yes.
Of how not to do it. Okay.
Yeah?
Please, suddenly to catch me off guard, thank you very much. Is outfit me, but I'm going to do it. It's
Can
a
I hold
wonderful
it?
occasion. So, let me just tell you कि play Pakistan, it is always a big game, and especially a World Cup match. मुझे याद है कि एक साल पहले लोगों ने शुरू किया था कि जो भी हो जाए ये मैच जीतो, बाकी के मैचेस का जो भी होता है होने दो.
Yeah.
We don't think like that. We want to win all the games, but that is how people think. And you know, we started preparing for that game. And before a big game, obviously, I have this tendency of preparing and visualizing everything. So at night also, I was not able to sleep. I was thinking, how will I play the first 10 overs, and then we can, because you know, looking at their bowling attack, it was possibly the best bowling attack at that stage. And their strength was to pick early wickets and then put the opposition on back foot. So our planning was, after they had scored 274 runs, the plan was not to lose early wickets. But once we went out there, you know, the game just took over, the momentum was with us. And we decided कि ना जहाँ मिलेगा बॉल मारने के लिए मारना चाहिए. And we were also, Sehwag and I, exchanging few dialogues, playing mind games, जहाँ पे उनको भी पता चले कि क्या हो रहा है, because we understand Hindi. तो जोर जोर से हम एक दूसरे के साथ भी बात कर रहे थे, where the bowlers and the fielders could hear us कि कैसे मारना है, क्या करना है, all that. Keep doing it. So I'm just going to play a shot which wasn't planned, to be honest. It just happened. Shoaib was not bowling that quick. It's सिर्फ 150 ही डाल रहा था. If I had blinked at the wrong time, ball शायद निकल जाता था. So one had to be, you know, aware of what was happening around. I'm going to just demonstrate. I saw the length. Like I said earlier, you pick the line when the line is slightly outside your right eye line. Then you know that cut shot could be played. So I'm just going to make an effort to recreate that here. I need you to also join me. We'll go step by step. This is a special moment to, you know, tie up with Tanishq, Celeste, Sachin Tendulkar. This team is a special team. It was a lot of fun working together, creating designs. I shared my thought process, my ideas, which were kind of incorporated, and the end product when I saw was really, really special. Tanishq is one brand which stands for trust, and I believe anyone who's buying anything for their special ones, they need trust. Without that trust, without that quality guarantee, then things don't move forward. I think that is something which is really, really important. I personally feel my favorite ring has been, you're wondering what am I doing, it's there. So I want to show the ring. And why I'm saying this one, because if you watch the ring closely, to me today is a special day. 2nd of April 2011 was the best cricketing day of my life, and that is what reminds me when I look at this ring. It's the World Cup, multiple hands are holding it, they're lifting the trophy, so it becomes really special. I mean, Arun is here. Thank you very much for also selecting the right moment to launch this. It's a tribute to me, these solitaires, really special ones. And like I said, when you are married, your wife teaches you a little bit about jewelry. I also have a daughter who's 25 now, so I've got reasonable experience in this, and that allowed me to share my ideas with team Tanishq. Celeste is a special association, and we are looking to some wonderful moments in time to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sachin.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate
those
this.
kind words, and really value this partnership.
Thank you so much.
ABP माझा, उघडा डोळे बघा नीट.